You've definitely seen this game in your childhood, but 99% of players have never truly understood it. Tactical War is a household classic, but it's far more than just swordsmen, archers, mages and giants fighting on the battlefield. Hidden beneath the surface is a complete world-building system, secret lore, and special mechanics that 99% of players' desktop and even the developers never tell you about. In this video, I'll uncover all of it, step by step. The story takes place on the continent of Inamorta, where each nation is obsessed with mastering its own unique technology. Across this land live swordsmen, archers, mages and spearmen, locked in endless wars against one another. Only our nation chose a different path, that of peace, education and unity. But that choice made us a target. The only way to survive was to strike first, to wage war, grow stronger through conquest, commando, and seize the technologies of our enemies to arm ourselves. Our first target is the nation of archers. In this mission, the mage teaches us several core mechanics: unit training, unit control, mining and defense. Once we deploy clubmen, if our numbers overwhelm the enemy, they immediately retreat and activate defensive archers on their statue. This means brute force won't work here. Instead, we switch to defensive stance and manually control a single clubman to attack. Just move up and down like this, and you can dodge the enemy archers' arrows. We strike from behind, dealing double damage and eliminating their miners quickly. Kill all the miners first, then the archers. No miners means no castle archers. Then we push in, destroy their statue, and secure our first victory. So we pushed the archers up into the mountains, but on our way to take on the swordsmen, we got ambushed by the local tribes. The wizard told us to use the miner speed up spell, but the timing wasn't enough, so we had to call a retreat. We set up the city archers we got from the last level for defense. Once they took out the attacking enemies, we quickly sent our miners back to gather resources and started training swordsmen to defend. The enemies came in 3 to 4 waves, but with all the clubmen we'd stacked up, we crushed them without breaking a sweat. After that, we officially engage in a showdown with the swordsmen. Here, we used the archers we obtained earlier to wear down the enemy's first few waves of attacks, while simultaneously training our clubmen. Pay attention here. Archers receive damage bonuses for both headshots and back attacks. Once we have accumulated enough clubmen, we launch the offensive. When the enemy statue is reduced to half HP, retreat first. Otherwise, your forces will get split. Then, by leveraging our continuously accumulated troop advantage, we eliminate the enemy's second wave of swordsmen, destroy the statue, and secure the victory. At the same time, we unlock smelting technology and upgraded a clubman into swordsman. Spearmen have high health and strong attacks, but they train slowly and are not as cost-effective as swordsmen. By sending just 3 swordsmen to flank, we can easily take down a single spearman. Relying on a numerical advantage, we quickly chop the enemy statue down to half HP. At that moment, the enemy sent in reinforcements, so we prioritized retreating to avoid their momentum. Afterward, we launched a counterattack, and with overwhelming numbers, we swiftly eliminated the enemy reinforcements. We then destroyed the statue and obtained the spearman training method. But an even bigger crisis was still waiting for us. The swordsmen who were supposed to flee into the mountains regrouped instead, wearing green helmets and led by a sword captain. They planned a surprise attack at night. This time, we rushed straight to A- first, and then kept training swordsmen non-stop. Otherwise there was no way we could survive this ambush. In the end, with equal numbers on both sides, we wiped out the enemy swordsmonger. This time, we faced a mage. He could summon minions and cost our explosions, which seemed almost impossible to counter. But the next steps will show the real way to deal with him. In this stage, we kept training archers and used their range to wear down the mage and his minions, eventually shooting the mage dead. Then, when the statue was at half HP, we needed to retreat and keep a safe distance from the mage before attacking again. You could see the enemy mage would just stand there, doing nothing but summoning. We kept taking out the summoned minions from afar and finally killed the mage, winning the battle against him. After defeating the match, we switched to the Lifana set. This set is incredibly powerful. It speeds up unit training and reduces unit costs. When all your units are wearing Messiahs, you start to also gain extra bonuses. This gives us a massive boost in efficiency for all the battles the following. After defeating the mage, we continue pushing into a puddle. Then, the swordsmen and archers formed an alliance. For this stage, we join spearmen and swordsmen. The spearman here can perform a thrust attack by using U-shaped movement at the attack, and a headbutt by using U-shaped movement at defense. This stage wasn't difficult at all, we cleared with ease. Soon after that, we pushed into the Vaspin region. Here, spearmen and archers also teamed down, but once again, they were no match for our mages. After defeating the enemies in Vespule Zone, we arrived at the No Man's Land. Remol has it that this place is full of giant monsters with high damage and area attacks. But we only needed one swordsman to easily tag one down. As I operated, when a giant was about to attack, I miffed behind it, so its attacks could never hit us. In this way, these massive giants were completely powerless against us and were defeated with ease. Later in the battle, we were ambushed again. This time, it was by local giants and clusters of clubmen. It looked dangerous, but with our full preparation, it was still no problem. Then we discovered the enemy elite leader's camp. At the start of this stage, we cannot produce only miners. We alternate with training swordsmen. Otherwise, the two enemy spearmen will crush us. Once we have accumulated 5 swordsmen, we launch a rapid attack to eliminate all enemy spearmen. Swordsmen, M-. Remember to keep producing swordsmen continuously during this period. When the enemy's second wave of reinforcements arrives, we retreat to our base. Once the enemies reach our statue, we strike all at once. This not only disperses the enemy's firepower, but also allows us to kill their giants during their retreat. We then successfully destroy the enemy base. This battle pushed the enemy into a desperate situation. They gathered all their forces, preparing for a final stand with us at Black Mountain. Behind this confrontation, a bigger conspiracy was hidden. In this round, we needed a large number of archers and at least one spearman. At the start, we trained some swordsmen to resist the enemy assault. We quickly repelled the first wave of enemies. Once the team was formed, we launched an attack. As enemy reinforcements arrived, we could control the troops to fight or retreat. Finally, we eliminated the enemy forces and destroyed that stash. At this moment, the enemy stash cracked open, and the giant appeared. This entrance clearly mirrors the boss introduction from Stick War 1. Soon after, an even larger giant crushed him. This boss had extremely high attack power, making conventional tactics ineffective. However, he followed the same cool mechanics as other giants. That meant we could kite him with a single swordsman, while archers dealt damage from the back. At the climax of the battle, a spearman named Entrius charged out of formation. Shouting for the Wuda Empire, he ended everything by driving his spear straight into the eyes of the Fano boss. The boss collapsed with a thunderous crash, and we secured the ultimate victory. But the story was not over. The Inumantyre rebels, the Western Abyss, and even zombies were still waiting for us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll continue the journey in the next episode.